Good morning, everyone. You are listening to Coffee Talk with Samantha and Paul, and I got my co-host with me, Paul Oppenheim. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Sam, and how are you this lovely morning?
Oh, I'm this lovely morning at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning my time, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock your time.
It's now 6 o'clock. It's still dark right now, by the way. It's a little black at the moment.
Oh, it's a little black. Yeah, it's dark. It's not dark here, Paul. I'm in Ohio, everyone, and Paul's in California, so we have some time differences going on. So, Paul, what's new?
So, gosh, I'll say I'm done with the Corona thing. I'm just like...
I know, I'm done with Corona, too.
I mean, literally just yesterday, the one city that I guess will be... so I work in different locations. In the one location, the city ordinance is like, you have to wear a mask. If you're caught outside walking the streets without a mask, you could get prosecuted. And they're like, oh, give me a break, so... I'm thinking about if I'm going to wear a mask, and I'm going to probably decorate it with a Sharpie pen, put like a real, wacky looking smile on it with buck teeth and missing teeth and a tongue sticking out or something like that, and just wear that all day.
Yeah, a friend of mine, she brought over to talk about social distancing. A friend of mine brought me over a mask yesterday, and I'm like, good gosh, do I really want to wear this? I know I have to wear it, but it's like, oh, I just can't believe we're seeing a time when we're actually going through this.
I know. I try to keep a positive spin on it. I was joking with one of my other LinkedIn buddies saying, hey, instead of one of those masks, maybe I'll just wear one of those traditional plastic, cheap Halloween masks like the Incredible Hulk or the Amazing Spider-Man.
The Incredible Hulk.
Maybe a Jason mask, Jason from Friday the 13th, one of those masks, like a hockey mask, something. But,
right.
Try to keep a lame attempt at laughing this off kind of a thing, but
I know
it's like reached the point now where it's just, for me, it's just a nuisance.
Yes, Corona has reached the point where it is a nuisance, and it's which brings me to the point, and everyone, this brings us to Paul's and my coffee talk. Yesterday, Paul and I were talking about something, and we came to the conclusion, I said it, that, Paul and I both said it, but I'm going to say it, that with everything that's going on, this really is like the plague in the Bible. And now, if anything, would be a good time if you have someone or something that you haven't forgiven in life to make amends with.
Yeah, I'm not going to say this is the plague, but...
No, I don't think it's the plague, but it's a plague.
It is, as I say this, I'll spin it like this. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's like we humans really need a kick in the pants when it comes to the sort of thing when it comes to forgiveness. Like, I'm not sure if it's just in our nature to be always looking out for number one or whatever, but sometimes it's like we need to have our cages rattled, so to speak, with a situation like this, perhaps like a virus or whatnot, to kind of kick us out of our sleep and say, you know what, maybe this is, if this is it, and we're going out and this whatever, maybe this is a good time to pick up the phone and call that person and apologize for whatever, or just if it's every opportunity is a good opportunity to make amends.
So
I don't think it seems that sometimes we need to be awakened to do that and need to get ourselves kicked into gear. And
yes,
you know what I'm saying. And so
it
has that kind of a feel for me, almost. Yeah,
it does. And what we're talking about, Paul, is actually biblical. Because I was looking in, you brought up 1 Peter 4:8, and everybody, the New King James Version, I'm going to say the New King James Version instead of regular King James, because not everybody can understand King James, even though that's the one I normally go by. But the New King James Version says, above all things, have fervent love for one another, for love will cover a multitude of sins. What do you think that means, Paul?
So, literally that. I mean, I think that, even in the original Lord's Prayer, the Our Father, there is a middle part where it says, forgive us as we forgive others. I mean, you can put another spin on it and say, like, don't forgive us as we don't forgive others. So my point is, though, and in showing love and especially in forgiveness, wrongs that have been done, I think what God's saying in God's eyes, remember, He doesn't see the world the way we see it. You know, we have a tendency, myself included, you know, because we don't really know any better, you know, I have a tendency to think of God like human-ish. Although we were made in His image, you know, we might sort of kind of, dare I say, create God in our own image and kind of think that He judges the way humans judge, and that's probably not the case, not even close, you know, but these are little instances into, I believe, how God judges. And possibly it could be the sense of as you show love towards others, even whatever wrongs you've done, even some that might be unspeakable or some that seem so dark they cannot withstand the light of day type of sinning, that the love that you show towards others, I think, especially in terms of forgiveness, that goes a long way. That's extreme mileage with God, apparently.
Yes, Paul. And I'm looking at, as we're talking, I'm looking at 2 Corinthians 2, 5 through 8. And I want to read this real quick because it's saying exactly what you're saying, Paul. It says, now if anyone has caused pain, he has caused it not to me, but in some measure, but to God. Not to put it severely to all of you, but for such one, this punishment by majority is enough, so you should rather turn to forgive and comfort him, or he may be overwhelmed by excess sorrow. So I beg you to reaffirm your love for him. Anyone who has forgiven himself has forgiven others.
Yes. And that's also a thing I think a lot of people have trouble or great difficulty doing is forgiving themselves. I know I struggle with that too. For, you know, past wrongs or whatnot. But it's something that should be also within us. You know, it's love others, but you have to love yourself too. I mean, really love it. Not in necessarily a selfish kind of a love, but you know, when you feel at a soaring bit of love within you, it will. There's a term, you know, that Dave uses, my cup runneth over. You know, that love will spill onto others as well. You won't, especially when you can feel the love of the Spirit within you, and it's so great, you can't help yourself in a good way. You can't help yourself. You just need to share that with others.
I believe it.
And hopefully, you know, you can think of it almost like a candle. You know, it's like you use one candle to light another candle. The flame of the original candle never goes out, or it doesn't dwindle at all. If anything, it's helping to spread the light to others.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. Paul, I have a truck in my driveway.
You have a what in your driveway?
I have a truck in my driveway. They're dropping off water softener. Let me go in.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. So back to on the forgiveness. I don't believe it. We'll have to edit this part, Paul. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. We can edit this, right?
If I remember.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just start my day now.
The bloopers on this, but
we'll leave it on. See if anybody's paying attention.
We'll leave it on, everybody. This is Paul's my blooper of Coffee Talk. Well, it is alive.
That's right. This doesn't get much more
Coffee Talk during forgiveness. I got to forgive now the water softener people that just brought salt to my well.
Yeah, this isn't the proper Coffee Talk. This is more of a decaffeinated.
The decaffeinated Coffee Talk. But where are we? Back to the Bible verses. It says about it in Corinthians, and it says Proverbs 17:9 says, love prospers when a fault is forgiving, but dwelling on it separates close friends. So for me, Paul, what that is saying is that if you can love somebody, and you say you love somebody, and you can forgive them instead of dwelling on what they did wrong, will bring back the friendship. But if you dwell on it, it's going to separate the two even farther.
Yeah, not only that, but I will tell you, and I've also written a small little blurb about this as well. It's like forgiveness also is extremely liberating for your own soul and actually for your body as well. I swear, it's like the more I keep in the practice of forgiving, I find like my blood pressure drops. You know, it's like you can feel yourself healing, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like if you're, you know, when you're not so focused on what someone, you know, did to you or whatever, and the problems with that, it's like, and you're just like, and just kind of forgive them, and just like, you know what, they don't know what they're doing, or they didn't know what they're doing, or they just act irrationally at that time, but they're not like this all the time. And even if they are, forgive them anyway, and just move on, because if you stay stuck with that, you're kind of enslaved to that. You know, you can't get stuck. It's like it's putting your mind like a virus. I mean, you can't. It's stifling. You can't get stuff done, work done, whatever, and because your mind is completely bent on, you know, what is it, revenge, or is it bent on just simply the idea of having it replay in your head what that person said to you or did to you again and again and again and again? I mean,
you just replay it over and over. And for me,
it's killing you. Yeah. So it's like let it go, and then
letting it go,
and you start healing.
You do start to heal. It's like a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
It's like a scab. Yeah. Like if you would say, I'll put it this way, I personally have a hard time with forgiveness because I get so hurt. Mine is more of an emotional hurt. It's not a revenge. Mine is more of an emotional hurt that person has hurt me, and I keep kicking the dead horse, so to say. I keep ripping the scab back off instead of healing it, because I feel so much emotion. But you're right. But when you let it go and let it heal and let time handle it and God handle it, it's you heal. And it's not, you're not doing it for the other person. You're doing it for yourself and the other person.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is it's that person needs forgiving too. You know, again, you could analyze it a bit and say, like, you know, why did that person do what they did? You never know what hurt that person went through that triggered that situation to make that person hurt you in the first place. So
you never know what they're going through.
And that, hence why it comes full circle, saying why we are quite incapable of judging one another, because we shouldn't. We don't ever know the full story. So that is why forgive. So that's why God's saying, forgive. Just forgive. Let me take care of the judging here.
Right. Let God do the judgment.
And we're not. And never think in terms of, oh, God's going to stick it to you. Like, no. It's probably not anything remotely close to that. Remember, all of us are His creation. Like I said before, God doesn't make junk. All of us are His children.
Right, and that's why they say, Paul, when you're dealing with something like that, never speak to the other person when angered.
Yeah.
You don't talk to them when you're angry, because the words will come out, and you got to let the anger pass and heal before you deal with that person. Exactly.
You have to, that way you can think rationally. I mean, there's other parts in the Bible where it says, you know, settle your differences on the way to the court. You know, see if you can settle out of court. You know, it's like before the judge comes down and it really gives you something you really don't really want. You know, it's like, hey, maybe it's best to try to, you know, let's settle our differences now before this escalates. You know, see if we can make an attempt at stopping the problem before the problem starts.
Right. And I know for me, it's a hard one. It really is. But I've had it where I've ripped the scab off, kicked the horse's head, nailed the heart.
Yep.
And it's hard to let it go, but you have to do it.
Yeah, because the aftermath, what does that make you? It makes you a scab ripper, a horse kicker. You know, that's just, it's already, you know, it puts that, your own self label on as that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'll take them all down. I'm good. Send the landlord stuff. Thank you. Okay. Sorry.
No worries.
Everybody. Yeah. They brought in all the salt, and I swear I got now forgive the salt guy for interrupting Coffee Talk. But
see what I mean? Perfect. Here's a perfect opportunity.
Perfect example. Yes, no, but it's true. When you forgive and you find forgiveness, you got to pray about it. You got to love the offender. You got to not speak poorly of them. You got to release them, and you got to just celebrate the failures and treat them the way you want to be treated, and to stop dwelling on the past.
Yeah, and just move on. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I guess coming full circle, another question: why does God allow these things to happen? Crises, global crises, catastrophes, or whatnot. Perhaps, just perhaps, this might be one reason, because it awakens us to each other.
It is awakening. It is
a lot of times these disasters will reveal the hearts of people. It will bring out the good in us and the bad in us. It will let us know who we really, really are. So perhaps this is, kind of ties all together with this, where it's like, because you have this catastrophe or whatever's happening around us, that, well, have another opportunity to forgive before it's too late.
Right. And in Psalms, the book of Psalms 10 or 103:3 says, God hath forgiven my sin and heals my diseases. Therefore, I should have forgiveness to them.
Yes. And it's so liberating then also, Sam, I swear, like when you just keep the practice of forgiving. At least it works for me. It's just, it's like, okay. So the guy was grouchy that day. Whatever. So whatever. It's another day.
Right. What would you say, Paul? Say if you've wronged somebody and you are at the point where you can forgive them and you've apologized over and over and over, and they just won't speak to you.
I am in that
forgive
situation.
you.
I am in that situation, actually, with someone. And,
I am too. You tell your story first, and I'll tell mine.
Well, don't get into the details and name names, but I will say that this I'm in a situation, and this person I've asked for forgiveness multiple times. Person just has no interest in forgiving. Apparently not, or at least makes no inclination towards it. And it's like, well, and I've tried reaching out several times. I just, in fact, reached out recently, wished this person a happy birthday. No reply. And it's like, well, it's what it is. If they really harbor such ill will toward me, that's on them.
That's true.
I cannot, I can't express anymore. And it's what it is, and so I just have to accept that. And I think it's kind of like that, perhaps, maybe when we go to visit God, in the end, when we die or whatever. There's a certain point where it's like, it's like, please turn back to me. And if you don't want to, God's like, well, where else will you go? And that's
right.
Where I hate to say this, but I guess it's where hell comes into play. Where. It's the separation. It's sure you really want to be separated from me? It's like, can't we work this out? You really want to stay separate? Okay. All right. Well, then that's the part where you hear, "Thy will be done."
Right. Yeah. You're right, Paul.
And will I always be open to this person for an opportunity to say, hey, I forgive you or whatever? Absolutely, of course.
Yeah, me too.
I always welcome that. But will it come? Only time will tell.
Yes,
that's
I know.
The situation I'm sort of kind of in without getting into details.
Well, my situation, Paul, I have a friend that I found out is having a baby. And at first because this person we had hovered ill feelings towards each other for multiple years. Sure. And I found out this, and I wanted to reach out and say, congratulations. I've asked your forgiveness many times. I am extremely happy for you. But I have expressed how sorry I am for my part of drama many, many times, and he never reaches out. The last thing he ever said to me was never contact me again.
And there you go.
In the terms where I want to say, oh, congratulations, I'm so happy for you, I wish you nothing but the blessings and health, I got never contact me again.
So you will get that. And
that hurts just as much as the initial wound.
Right, it does. Now, the way that person reacted, perhaps that's just part of that's just how they react. That's just, you don't know the pain that person would have growing up either. Everyone's different. And so it is a shame that that's how it went down. But in the end, we're big boys and girls now. It's like that's the decision they're making, then, well, that's it. And all you can then do is just be hopeful and wait.
Yes.
But not dwell on that hopeful and wait, because that will make you miserable.
Right, yes.
And you never know. There's epiphanies. There's people that will turn to the light, so to speak, or, have an awakening like, gosh, I've been foolish for not forgiving. Or they might turn around and start forgiving, but they'll forget about your situation and forget about what happened there and forget to forgive you. They might actually even forgive you and not tell you that they forgive you. Or perhaps they don't have, or perhaps they are so ashamed, even though they forgive you, that they can't muster up the words, I forgive you.
Or the words to say I'm sorry. Too.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, because sometimes this person, I've apologized numerous times. I've apologized. It happened in 2016. I apologized for the past 4 years. And I'm getting, I feel like now I'm just beating a dead horse, because it's like, this person's doing good and is having his baby. And
So
he just obviously doesn't want me around, so it's on them now. Now I can't, I'm not going to keep hindering it any longer.
And perhaps this person might feel that in forgiving you, they might think in terms of maybe it's an invitation for something else. I don't know. So maybe that's their way of putting up some form of a defense barrier.
It's a defense mechanism.
People are funny like that, or I'm just saying that it's like, even if they haven't forgiven you, forgive them for not forgiving you. I mean, go to that.
Forgive them for not forgiving me.
It's like, don't, and again, just don't dwell on it anymore. As difficult as that might seem, you can't, because it's just beating you up inside.
Right. Well, this is going to be the title of the Coffee Talk. Forgive them for not forgiving us.
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah. What a good talk, Paul.
I'll let you noodle on that one today.
Okay. Well, everybody, don't mind our bloopers. And if you want to be a guest on Coffee Talk, please reach out. And Paul and I will chat with you later. Enjoy your day, Paul.
All right, you too, Sam.
Okay, everybody. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.